To the March 19th, 2024 meeting of the Orland Park Plan Commission. Would everybody kindly stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll call the meeting to order and start with the roll call. I'm Chairman Parisi. Commissioner Schuessler?
Here.
Commissioner Paul?
Here.
Commissioner Zamparelli?
Here.
Commissioner Zatar? Commissioner Sanchez?
Here.
Commissioner Nugent?
Not here.
Not here. Okay. The first item of business is we all got copies of the minutes of the March 5th meeting. You all had a chance to review them. I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Schuessler.
interesting reading. I'd move that be approved as presented.
Second.
We have a motion seconded by Commissioner Zamparelli. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay. We are going to start with the non-public hearings first. That's item number 2024-0195, Plan Commission bylaws. And you have a number of attachments. So would that be Carrie or staff? Or?
Yes, staff.
Carrie, yeah. Carrie?
Want me to just
You have
take it away?
presentation?
Yep, yes.
Thank
All right.
you.
So I asked the staff report be added to the record as written and as presented tonight. This is part one of several parts that we will be incorporating as Plan Commission bylaws in the coming weeks and months. But we wanted to focus in on electronic participation for tonight's portion. The Plan Commission does not have an existing policy regarding electronic participation, and this case provides recommendations and conditions in which to allow Plan Commissioners to participate in meetings electronically. And in July of '23, attendance by a means other than physical presence was enacted in the Illinois compiled statutes, and it allows electronic participation if a quorum of the members of a public body is physically present, which we have tonight. Please note that there are provisions to allow a meeting to be conducted by audio or video conference, including a disaster declaration. Hopefully we won't have another one of those anytime soon. Although the Board of Trustees has an electronic participation policy, it does not transfer to other boards and commissions. Therefore, this report contains the recommended actions and conditions to allow electronic participation for the Plan Commission. Although in-person meeting participation is best, it is understood that situations occasionally present the need for participation by electronic means. Since the compiled statutes contain provisions for electronic participation, it is suggested the following concepts be incorporated into the Plan Commission bylaws for electronic participation. A quorum plus one. We want to have, a quorum is 4. We would like to have 5 scheduled in person, just in case there's a last minute, someone can't make it, then we still have a physical quorum here to be able to conduct the meeting. The request to participate electronically by any of the commission members is made at least 24 hours in advance of any scheduled Plan Commission meeting, but no more than 14 days prior to. So we at least have the previous meeting before we actually start scheduling remote participation. We ask that no more than 2 commissioners attend by public participation. In case of emergency, a third may participate electronically at the discretion of the chair or the presiding commissioner for that specific meeting. And all participating Plan Commissioners must be verified and able to hear one another and hear all discussion and testimony. So you'd have to make sure like phones are working, or open lines of communication, or if Zoom is something that's desired, that everyone can hear each other from afar and in the room. So the staff recommended action regarding case 2024-0195. Staff recommends the Plan Commission adopt Plan Commission bylaws, electronic participation, as discussed at this meeting and within the staff report dated March 15th of 2024, subject to the following conditions. All Plan Commission meetings shall be conducted in person unless a remote meeting is authorized under the state statutes. Any meeting of the Plan Commission at which a quorum of the Plan Commission is present, physically present, may be attended by a commissioner by means of video or audio conference under the following conditions. It's the Plan Commissioner cannot be physically present due to one, personal illness or disability; two, employment purposes or the business of the Plan Commission; three, a family or other emergency; and four, unexpected childcare obligations. The third condition is any request by a Plan Commissioner must be made at least 24 hours in advance, but no more than 14 days prior to the meeting. If more than two Plan Commission members request to participate electronically, the priority will be given to the most recent in-person participants. If a tiebreaker is needed, priority will be given to the commissioner with the smallest number of meetings attended electronically. Item 4, should an emergency situation arise in the last 24 hours before a Plan Commission meeting, the third commissioner may be approved to participate remotely at the discretion of the chair or presiding commissioner. Should a quorum not be present, the meeting will be continued to the next regularly scheduled meeting per the process outlined in our Plan Commission procedures for continuation, which we established, I believe, October of 2022. Any Plan Commissioner, item 5, any commissioner participating in a meeting by electronic means shall publicly state the reason for not being physically present at the meeting. And item 6, all members of the Plan Commission participating in the meeting, wherever their physical location, must be verified and must be able to hear one another and hear all discussion and testimony. So the recommended motion is regarding case number 2024-0195, also known as Plan Commission bylaws, electronic participation. Staff recommends that a Plan Commission approve the staff recommended action as presented in the staff report to the Plan Commission for this case.
Thank you, Karen.
Questions?
Thank you. We've all the members have had the opportunity to read these proposed bylaws. And so I would just go to my commissioners and see if any of you have any questions or comments. So we'll start with Commissioner Sanchez.
No questions, no comments. I think it's a good idea.
Good. Commissioner Paul.
Just one question. By what means are we going to do this? Is it going to be through Zoom? Is it going to be audio visual, or what, like, how is this going to happen?
I guess there's several options. We do have the ability to call via whatever this is called right here, and be more of a call option. The meetings are also broadcast via YouTube, so they could watch via that means, or we could also make prior arrangements for a Zoom participation or Teams or whatever the preferred method would be.
Watch the video as it's taking place on YouTube?
There's usually at least a little bit of a delay, but we could.
They'd be watching this.
Traditionally, yes, they would be watching this.
But somebody calling
people
in.
at home. Yes.
Wouldn't be on a picture on a Zoom. I mean, currently, our trustees have electronic meetings, and it's strictly by phone.
Correct,
There's
yes,
not a-
currently by phone,
Yeah, they're not on a Zoom meeting.
yeah.
So it would just be
Correct.
strictly audio?
So it could be strictly audio. If we want a Zoom or Teams option, we would work with communications on
Okay.
however that,
I mean, I think it's a
whatever
good-
details need to be worked
I think
out.
I think it's a good idea. I mean, I've had that happen a couple times too, where I had to be traveling and I wasn't able to attend.
Sure.
So I like the idea that I'd still be able to participate. I was just curious as to like how that was going to happen. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Zamparelli?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No questions, but I will make a comment. Actually, the last board meeting, one of the participants was, called in, one of the trustees. And it seems like it worked fine, actually. We seem like we always have somebody out of town. I think it's a good idea. About time. Thank you.
Commissioner Schussler?
I think it's a terrific idea. I might have occasion to use it in the near future. Next week, I start chemotherapy, so I might not be able to attend a few meetings. So my question is, to whom is the request made within the 24 hours or prior to 24 hours?
We're the recording secretary, so if you can send it to Tiffany and myself, we'll make the right arrangements.
Okay, that's my only question. Thank you.
I think it's a good idea, too, and I trust that my fellow commissioners will carefully read the conditions under which they can be requested and the procedures for doing so, and we won't have any problems. So with that, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Schussler?
regarding case number 2024-0195, also known as Plan Commission bylaws, electronic participation, I move to approve the staff recommended action as presented in the staff report to the Plan Commission for this case.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Paul. Commissioner Zamparelli?
Aye.
Commissioner Paul?
Aye.
Commissioner Sanchez?
Aye.
Commissioner Schussler?
Aye.
Commissioner Parisi? Aye. Motion passed.
So if we can just take a short recess?
Yes.
Nobody go anywhere, but
We'll allow,
we'll allow electronic participation.
now that we
from-
have this passed, we
Yes.
have a member not here who would like to participate electronically.
Hopefully we get success on
He
the
has to
first
be on
try.
camera.
Will it work?
If not, it'll be guinea pig and we'll figure it out next time. Okay.
I move that we close non-public hearings.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll just take a brief.
Now I know why you took it out of order.
Yeah, you're wondering, huh?
Sorry, I forgot to dial 7. Don't mind me.
And I thank everybody for their patience.
Yes. How do you hang up?
Operator, what's that?
Okay, let's do that then.
It'll probably come back in public. Are we going to be able to hear this?
You should.
It's called staff OJT.
Okay.
Yeah.
It went straight to voicemail. It went straight to voicemail, so,
That's not very promising.
Yeah.
no, well,
I think that's on his end and not on your end.
Yes.
That's his problem.
Aren't they supposed to call? I think
Well,
they would have
the-
called us, wouldn't they?
Well,
Well, if it
Wouldn't they
was,
call in?
but Kerry was calling him to say
Yes.
it's okay to call in now.
Ah,
yeah.
right,
Yes.
because it's.
Right,
passed.
Kerry?
Yeah, sure.
yeah, that's it.
And if he listens to his voicemail, there is our
Yes.
proof. Okay. All righty. With that, I move that we open public hearings with public hearing number 2023-0915, Premier Funeral Service, 11275 143rd Street, special use for funeral parlor. I made the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Staff?
I would like to request that the staff report be accepted into the record as written and as presented during this meeting. The petitioner seeks an approval for a special use permit for a funeral parlor of an existing 4,154 square foot building located at 11275 143rd Street. It's located here by the Star. Here's some of the project attributes. The subject site has a gross area of 1.25 acres. The petitioner intends to add approximately a 3,000 square foot addition to accommodate funerals parlor operations. Currently, the existing land use is a vacant financial institution, a former bank. To the north is, the land use is single-family residential homes. Commercial uses exist to the east and the west of the subject site, and open space exists to the south of the site. The subject site is within the large-scale plan development zoning district, and within the LSPD zoning district, they do permit special uses that are approved by the village board in ordinance, in accordance with the procedures set forth in the land development code. The subject site is located within the neighborhood mixed-use region of the Orland Grove Comprehensive Planning District. In 2001, this is just background information here. In 2001, this parcel was a part of a re-subdivision of Lot 2 in the Con Commercial Subdivision for the Shops of Orland. And it's this piece. You cannot see my marker, but the arrow that's pointed there, if you could see that on the screen. The existing impervious lot coverage on this site exceeds the 45% allowance from the LDC. However, the petitioner has proposed to reduce the lot coverage from 75% to 73.3%. And while this figure still exceeds the allowable impervious surface allowed by code, he is proposing to reduce the lot coverage by almost 1,000 square feet, bringing the site closer to conformance to what we want in the code. The land development code also requires that for every 200 square feet of funeral parlor use, that there's one parking space made available. Existing on the site currently, there are 38 spaces, but the petitioner intends to add 3 additional spaces, bringing it to a total of 41 proposed spaces. And all of the parking spaces are 9 feet wide by 18 feet long, which meets the code requirements as they are in section 6-306. Here are just some images, renderings of what this funeral parlor will look like. At the top in that circle, that's what it looks like currently. Majority of the existing building will be maintained by what's currently there. The existing canopy that I showed in the previous slide will be removed. A driveway will be, the building addition will replace that existing canopy. The new building addition will include 2 garages, a bigger one that's 10 feet and a smaller one that's an 8-foot door. This is the southwest rendering here. Again, the majority of the building will be maintained. Nothing's being changed on this elevation. Regarding case number 2023-0916, also known as Premier Funeral Services, a special use permit for a funeral parlor, staff recommends to accept and make findings of fact as discussed at this Plan Commission meeting and within the staff report dated March 14th of 2024. Staff recommends that the Plan Commission approve the site plan and the building elevation subject to the conditions 1 through 4 as shown on the screen. And here is the staff recommended motion. We recommend that, I'm finished.
We get it. All set?
Yes, sorry.
No, don't be. It's okay. Thank you. Thank you. Is the petitioners present? What we will do, anybody who's going to speak tonight, whether you're asked a question or, we would ask you to go up to the podium, and we will swear you in, and try to get the mic up to your level, because it's meetings are recorded in the broadcast. So we'd appreciate that. So the petitioners are present. There's a number of conditions. Would the main petitioner please step up to the podium?
Yep. Good evening. If you could raise your right hand, please. Thanks. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that any testimony you present tonight in this matter will be the truth and nothing but the truth? If so, please say, I do.
Yep.
Thank
Now
you.
you have to raise the mic up a little bit.
Sorry.
Your name,
Got to go right into
My
it.
name is Ron Pass.
for the record?
Sorry?
Your name and address for the record.
The address of the property or my current?
Your name and address.
Okay. My name is Ronald Pasco. Currently live at 12539 West Hampshire Lane in Homer Glen. Looking for approval for a special use permit on the site at 11275 West 143rd Street. I've been a licensed funeral director for about 40 years now. Worked in both the family-owned and corporately owned. And every time I would go to work, going down 143rd Street, I seen this piece of property for years, about 20 years now. I've been out in Homer for 23 years. And I've always dreamed of having my own facility. And this building, to me, it looks like a funeral home. I mean, the small addition that we're going to be putting on for the chapel, I think it, coheres with the rest of the building. Like I said, I've been in the business for 40 years, worked at basically 2 locations, family-owned and corporately owned. I'm married, I got 3 kids, live in Homer Glen. I'm a parishioner at St. Michael's Church. I brought my legal team with me. I got John Maher here. I got the builder, Dave Miller, and the realtor, Anthony Meyer, who's the realtor on the property. I guess any questions or concerns?
Well, there's, if they have any questions, the commissioners will ask you. You might want to stay there. I see there were a few conditions on this, on the approval, and you're aware of them? You don't have any problems with them? They had a few conditions that you had to meet, and you...
Well, I think that was with the landscaping?
Yes, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, whatever the village, wants and needs, that's what we're willing to put into
Of course, thank you.
the facility.
Yeah, it's, it has to do with landscaping and final engineering, of course, and mechanical equipment has to be hidden. The garages, is that where the existing drive-up lanes are?
Yes,
And the chapel, what's it going to be where the ATM is?
correct. Right in front of
Yeah,
the 3 drive-through lanes, the chapel is the front half of the building.
okay,
And then the back half would
Is the
be
garage.
the garages.
okay,
Correct.
all righty. Good. I mean, I don't have any questions right now, but I will go to my commissioners first. Commissioner Zamparelli?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have to agree with you. I drive by there even when it was a bank, and I thought, that would be a nice funeral home. So it has, maybe it's the chapel on the steeple on top,
It could be, yeah.
But it was never really a crowded bank, so.
Right.
I just, quick question. What's an average attendant guest to a funeral?
How many people?
How many people usually, I know there's one deceased, but the rest of them,
I guess it depends on...
Family and friends?
Yeah.
Ever since COVID, I mean, COVID's changed the funeral industry quite a bit. There's smaller gatherings. Families are, using the facility just in the morning and then going directly to church. And then, burial. The hours for visitation, it's been, used to have 2 days years ago.
Right.
Now it's, 4 or 5 hours.
Right.
So as far as attendance, I would say probably 50, 75.
It's not many. I didn't think it was, but,
Yeah.
when I seen the parking, when the code is you needed 38, so I see you exceeded that. But it just doesn't seem like a lot to me, but I guess it's because funerals are downsizing, correct?
Right, yep.
That's pretty much it. I think it's a great fit there, and I think you'll do well, so welcome aboard. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Schussler?
I understand this is going to be a family-owned business.
It is family-owned, correct?
That's a real plus, and I agree with Commissioner Zamparelli. It's a very good use of the abandoned building. I have one question for staff. Carrie's smiling, because I always have questions. So I keep
good.
you guys on your toes. the staff report indicated that the current code requires for this zone 55% to be open space and 45% building and impervious pavement, or impervious pavement. Is that because the code changed, or how did this get approved with 75%? And he's not really making many changes, and 55% to 75%, that's a big change.
That's existing already, isn't it?
I mean, it's existing, and I
yeah.
mean, we need to approve this because it's existing, but I'm just wondering why it was approved if the code requires 55% open space, why it was approved with 25% open space. And you're all new, so you probably don't know. So.
No, to that, I did check into that within our archive. I found no record of how this got approved that way, so I'm not sure.
And you know what? I was on the board that probably approved it, and I don't know either. So.
You're honest.
But if it makes any difference, when you look at the site, even aerial view or just driving by it, it's pretty green, even though the numbers reflect elsewise. It's a green site from driving by it and
I don't have any
looking at
problem with
on
it. It
top.
fits in with
Yeah.
the shopping center to the east, and there's also, I think, another building to the west.
Restaurant right next to it, yeah.
I don't have any problem with it. I was just curious as to why.
Okay. Thank you. Commissioner Sanchez?
Yeah, I think it fits in well with that corner there, so I don't really have any issues or questions.
Thank you. Commissioner Paul?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think, I mean, it's a good use for that building. I just have a question, though. So we're making the building bigger, and we're adding parking spots, but our lot coverage goes down from 75 to 73%. Just curious, like, how that happened.
Dave?
Okay.
Please.
You have to be sworn in.
We need to swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that any testimony you present tonight in this matter will be the truth and nothing but the truth? If so, please say I do.
I do.
Thank you.
Name and address for the records, please.
Yeah, Dave T. Brock at 3335 West St. Germain Street, St. Cloud, Minnesota.
Okay.
So, great question. The reason it does is, you see the red circle there that Wisdom has, that is our addition to the project, which is basically over the drive.
Right.
So we're not adding any impervious surface, and we're adding some landscape along the side of the building that was in the drive. So that's why we are reducing the impervious, because everything now is just over the pavement that was already there, adding some landscaping along the building on the front and to the right, just to soften it to like the rest of the building.
Okay, that answers my question.
Yep, good question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I don't have any additional questions. I think it's a good use, obviously, for the property. I had just one thing as I was walking everything. Just a little bit concerned about when people are leaving and they want to exit onto 143rd, which is pretty busy. I'm wondering if that's not the best place to take a left turn and go east on 143rd. And I don't think there's any existing restrictions. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, was
He's
any
talking.
consideration? There's no existing restrictions, are there?
Not to my knowledge, no.
You know what I'm
But,
talking, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Okay.
as in leaving and going east.
Well, if you're exiting from the
Yeah.
lot and you're taking the 143rd Street exit, no problem taking a right. But if you want to take a left, you have to, you have traffic going in both directions.
Mr. Chairman?
Commissioner Paul.
And by he's on 151st. I mean, I've seen the police block off traffic for left turns. I mean, I don't know if that's normal, like if that's something that they
I
always
would
do.
think so.
But I've seen
Are
that
we
more than
talking for
once.
funerals or just people?
No, just people visiting, for instance.
Okay.
I'm sure if you had the funeral procession, you,
Sorry, that's, okay.
the procession's one thing. I'm talking about just
I get you.
people going in and out. You know, they want to leave. If you want to go east down 143rd, the safest way to do it would be to, you know, exit on Wolf and go take a left at the light. But
Well,
if,
you do have that Dunkin' Donuts right next to the building
yes,
that has, there's a left turn and then there's the right turn to go on to 143rd.
yeah, Dunkin' Donuts across the street.
Correct. Wait, what was that?
Dunkin'
across
Donuts
the
is
street.
to the left of.
No, Dunkin'
well,
Donuts is the
Just
immediate
west.
building to the left of where I'm proposing to put.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got it.
So, I mean, talk about traffic, I mean, you know, they have, you know, quite a bit of traffic there, and
It's funny, I should know I worked at that bank. Shame on me.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if you look at the picture up there, my recollection is there's cross easements all the way across.
Here's what?
Cross easements, so somebody can
correct.
Yes.
way across
Yeah.
there. And on either side, there are right-in, right-outs. So the only place you can really make a left out is in front of the funeral home. Because if you go either east or west, both of those are right-in, right-out exits. So what's probably going to happen when 143rd gets widened
Right.
is there will be a dedicated left turn lane in front of the funeral home. And that will serve all the businesses across there, so they can use those cross easements to make a left turn out.
Yeah. And I misspoke. I was saying going east. I meant going west, of course.
Yeah,
Okay.
we knew what you meant. But I think the problem will be resolved with the left turn lane when it gets widened. Might not be during our lifetimes, but
Yeah.
they're working on it diligently, I think.
Okay, well, thank you. I would entertain a motion at this point.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Schussler.
regarding case number 2023-0916, also known as Premier Funeral Services, 11275 143rd Street, special use permit for a funeral parlor. I move to approve the staff recommended action and proposed findings of fact as presented in the staff report to the Plan Commission for this case.
Second.
We have a motion. Commissioner Schussler, seconded by Commissioner Paul. Commissioner Sanchez?
Aye.
Commissioner Paul?
Aye.
Commissioner Parisi, aye. Commissioner Schussler?
Aye.
And Commissioner Zamparelli, aye.
Aye.
What?
I think you anticipated you were going to get an eye from there.
What did you went right through me, didn't you?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. I want to get in the,
But I was gonna
given
give
that we're going to have remote callers, I want to get in the habit
Oh, yeah.
of doing a roll
Doing a roll
call
call, yep.
on votes instead of just asking everybody, call you individually, so you might get used to that. Okay,
I like it.
so motion passes unanimously. Congratulations and thank you. Thank you for your, thank you for
Good
your
luck.
passion
Good
and
luck.
patience. So, I don't see any new. Well, you saw there's a couple of memos and review petitions that you've seen. I don't know that they require any discussion. So given that, you know what, folks in the back? Shame on me. Did you wish to comment on any of this? Come on up. I'm so sorry. No, no, I mean, you should have spoken before we did. So would you please,
I have to be.
yeah, you do, yeah.
My name's Leslie Handler.
Okay,
You
just
hear?
raise your right hand.
1 minute, Leslie. Yes.
Thanks. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that any testimony you offer tonight will be the truth and nothing but the truth? If so, please say, I do.
Yes, I do.
Thank you very much.
And you have a question, Leslie?
I do.
Please.
My address is 11263 Endicott Court, which is directly across the street from the bank building,
Sure.
soon-to-be funeral home. And I have no objections whatsoever to the business. I'm sure they'll be as good neighbors as they can. But if you look at that picture, you'll see that when I leave my house, which is the first one, like right toward the middle of that picture at the top of the frame. When I leave my house, I'm going to come down Compton Court, and if I want to take a left turn there, it's already difficult sometimes to turn left there. And sir, if you know, like you live in Homer Glen, you know how fast the traffic comes past there once that light at Wolf Road turns green. They come
Could you,
barreling down there.
would you direct
And-
your questions to the
I'm sorry. Yeah.
commission? Yes.
So I'm concerned about the amount of extra traffic there's going to be. And I too have seen police directing traffic after a funeral, and I think that helps a lot. I don't know what you have to do to get that, but maybe that would work. And another concern I have is with people on 143rd Street trying to make a left into the Dunkin' Donuts there. That's going to be a backup when people start coming out of the funeral home in the procession. They're coming out of the funeral home and making a turn there, either right or left, whatever it's going to be. People wanting to go to Dunkin' Donuts are going to be backed up in that small left turn lane that is already there. So those are just some things. I don't know what could be done about it, but just some thoughts that we had because we happen to live right there.
I would think. Pardon? Yes. Well, yeah, if you would like to comment, Mr. Pasca, first.
Funeral processions, you can
You need to speak up there because that's where it's getting recorded.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be.
On the back portion of the property, there's a thoroughway that
Correct.
you can go off onto Wolf
All the
Road.
way to Wolf.
Right. So I mean, that's an option where, you know, I felt that we can always use that way to alleviate any traffic on 143rd Street. And with the size of the facility that, you know, I'm looking to have there, I'm not looking, there's only going to be one wake going on at a time. Other funeral homes have 2, 3, you know, 4 different wakes going on at the same time. I only have, you know, the space for one. So I even told Wisdom and Marcus that, you know, depending on the size of the visitation, I would have people out in the parking lot, you know, flagging them in, telling them where, you know, where to go to park, parking, you know, in the back. There's some open buildings on the, to the east of where my facility is going to be, that I've called to see if, you know, on those days that I need extra parking, if I would be able to, you know, pay them for their, you know, their space for the parking. So, I mean, there's ways around, and if it's big, you know, for a funeral, you know, I'm sure the police department, for anything, you know, that size, you know, they'd probably be more than, you know, happy to do it, you know, to make sure that everyone gets out, you know, safely and, but, I mean, during visitations, you know, coming into the property, you know, making that left-hand turn or, you know, making a right's no problem. It's just, you know, the left-hand turn, you know.
Yeah, Dunkin' Donuts, I would think their peak drive-up hours are generally in the early morning.
Yeah, early morning, so.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Schussler?
perhaps the staff engineer can comment on whether there's going to be a left turn lane off of 143rd Street where, in front of the funeral home. I think Phase 2 has been completed. Does Phase 2, maybe it's hard to answer from the top of your head, but does Phase 2 have a left turn lane into the funeral home and also into the townhouses on the north side?
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to confirm that left turn lane on 143rd Street, so, but we'll take a look and let.
Yeah, if it isn't there, before we get too far with the plan, probably there should be some input from the village that there will be a need for a left turn lane. There's already a need for it, and when you put a funeral home in there, that really will mean there's a bigger need for it.
Thank you. Well, thank you, and
Thank you.
thank you for taking the time to come, too. Appreciate it. Sorry I passed you up. Well, we've already approved the motion, and so at this point, I'd make a motion that we adjourn at 7:43 PM.
Second.
Motion by me
You.
and seconded by Commissioner Paul. He beat you. Yeah?
That's okay. I'll get over it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Good luck.
May we approach the